It's LIN Live with Spank and Sam. It's a show for everyone, boy, woman, girl, and man. So tune in on Facebook and YouTube. Guaranteed to make you laugh and make you feel good. Yeah, it's the LIN Live show with Spank and Sam. It's the LIN Live show with Spank and Sam. It's the LIN Live show with Spank and Sam. It's the LIN Live show with Spank and Sam.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to LIN Live. I am Alfonso Spanky Jones.
And I'm Samuel Sam Anthony. I got a new haircut too.
And we are happy to have you here with us again for episode, was this 12? 12 of LIN Live. If you are new to the show, please be sure to subscribe, like, give us a thumbs up, and share, because we want to, grow a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We want to grow a lot of bit. You know?
Yeah.
I mean. What up, Jaquay? What's happening, brother?
Jaquay, you are a faithful young man.
We gotta figure out like a name for our faithful like watchers.
I think we should call them the Jaquays until we find another name.
Yeah, his head is already big enough. Like, not feed into it. But man, it's been a crazy weekend, pretty busy weekend, but a really, really good weekend. We started the LIN single for the network with the music ministry. We was in the studio this weekend, laying it down, getting funky and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Said that. I don't know where that came from. It was good. It was a great time. The studio that we were at was Kiwi Audio in Batavia. Shouts out to Brad Showalter. Thank you for having us this weekend. We were blessed to be there. You know, turned into a church service. Hallelujah.
Yes, Lord.
And then Ashley, our Ashley Jaquay was there. Oh man, Jaquay twerked in the studio. I got video of it. It'll be on Facebook and YouTube sometime this
Lord. I'm sorry to hear that.
Quite hilarious. It was a random dance break. Quite hilarious. So yeah, that was pretty much my weekend. How was your weekend, sir?
It was a chill weekend. What did I do this weekend? This past Thursday was my birthday, so I spent that day with my family and chilling. Then we had an event at the Mother Church on yesterday, which was solid. And then I spent the rest of the day with Lo, eating food and watching TV.
Yeah, man. Happy belated birthday, bro.
Thank you.
How young are you?
I am 29 years old. I should have made people guess it.
Yeah, you should have put in the comments. How old y'all think Sam is? Never
mind. The cat's out the bag. Forget everything I just said. How old is Sam?
Get the flash thing in. Like look right here at this device.
Thank you, good people. Yeah, so I had a solid weekend. Went to Liberty Chicago for church service this morning, and watched some more really bad TV. I spent a lot of time watching Jeopardy, actually. Rest in peace, Alice Trebek. And
True G.
I realized why I used to love watching Jeopardy as a kid. It's because my mom used to watch it. When I got home from school, I would use that as an excuse to not do my homework. It worked out.
You were learning. You were learning. It's a great excuse.
Yeah.
I didn't watch Jeopardy when I got home. When I was a kid, you know, however many years ago that was, Power Rangers was a thing I was rushing home to see. The original Power Rangers. You know, so like that was my thing. I was the nerd, you know. And then I would watch like Tiny Two Adventures and Animaniacs. Speaking of Animaniacs, I got to binge watch the brand new Animaniacs this weekend, bro.
How was it?
It is just like it has the same vibe as old, just updated. So you know what people were fearing that it'd be like way different. It wasn't too much different. It was really good. I enjoyed it.
That's dope. I need to check it out for sure. Animaniacs is on my list of things to watch. Jingle Jangle is on my list of things to watch. And I think that's it.
I'm not a fan of musicals, so like I might pass on it. I saw all the commentary on Facebook already, so I feel like I watched it. and so I may pass on that one.
I feel it.
Waiting on some new episodes of like my shows to come back, like The Boys. I love The Boys. That is my show. I can't wait for season 3. Yeah, just some really, really good stuff. Stuff that like I can Netflix and Hulu and chill by myself. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
Get our subject for the day.
I could say I don't watch this alone at all now, but Fargo is a really solid show. Thanks, John. If you haven't seen Fargo season 4 with Chris Rock, check it out. It's quite hilarious because Chris Rock is playing a mobster, so it kind of throws you off a little bit.
Yeah,
but it's quite hilarious to see him in that role.
Is it a serious role or is it like
it's a serious role, but it's Chris Rock. So he said stuff like boom, and you're like, that's Chris Rock. That's hilarious. But he's like dead serious, and you're like, no, you're not. No, you're not, Chris.
I got to see that. I just can't see it. Oh, The Mandalorian. Another show that I just recently got put on, and I got a chance to like binge watch the whole first and second. So I'm caught up now. I love The Mandalorian. And Baby Yoda is like my spirit animal. And then as a wrestling fan, to see Sasha Banks in The Mandalorian just shows that like, she has ascended to another level of stardom. It's super dope. Congratulations to Sasha Banks. So yeah, man, some good stuff on TV.
It is The Mandalorian. If you're looking for, 4 quarters of mind-blowing entertainment, watch a Chicago Bears game. That's my favorite drama this year. A lot of tears, a lot of happy moments, but a lot more tears. Go Bears, though. Bear down.
I mean, my equivalent to that is Grey's Anatomy. More of like a hey, dang, did you see this last episode type, oh my God. But like it's more relevant now because they're going through the whole pandemic too. So they're showing like the pandemic things of that. And the whole Meredith Grey situation that's going on right now. Oh my God. Right. No, I'm sorry. My third and my sensitive stuff. I feel like I should have like a rose right now with this hat on and these glasses.
Well, that's perfect for the show there. You're showing your sensitive side,
My tears are gangster tears, though. They only come out one at a time. They single solitary gangster tears. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Don't let the teardrop fill.
It has to be one, though. It can't be more than one tear.
You still can catch these hands. You know what I'm saying? These hands. Yeah. So before we continue, we also want to let you guys know that we got merch. So neither one of us has it on right now because me, honestly, it's laundry day. Laundry day is coming up, and all of mine is dirty.
I want my merch to be seen, and now I'm here. But just imagine that this is merch. It's a plain white t-shirt.
And this shirt is not merch, but it is a shirt nonetheless. But please help us by buying merch. That every little bit that you spend helps us continue to upgrade the show and do really, really cool things in the future. For instance, if you put on your calendar right now, December 5th, we're going to have an LIN Live game night where y'all get to hang out with us on YouTube Live. It'll be a live stream on YouTube. It's going to be cracking. We're going to play some spades. We're going to play some Uno. We're going to even let y'all in on behind the scenes of like our lives and our family and our friends that we hang out with that are all COVID negative. So we make sure we get them all tested, Yeah. They have to present their negative results before they walk through the threshold of my house.
Yep, have to, including me. It's all good though.
It's all good. It's all about keeping each other safe because we love each other. So December 5th will be the LIN Live Game Night live on YouTube, on the LIN YouTube channel. What else is coming up? Oh, were we able to pull that flyer?
Nope, can't pull it.
But we'll try to get it sometime before the end of the show. But the Liberty Temple Chicago Youth is having a Christmas party. right?
Yes. Yep.
We'll get you all that information once soon as we get the flyer on here and ready. So without further ado, I feel like we should just go ahead and get into it because this is gonna be one of the most rawest, most realist,
Real.
hilarious shows that you're going to get into because the two people that we have with us tonight are just just really good human beings. First and foremost, don't let what we say tonight fool you. We are good people. We just don't deal with like stuff. We don't take no stuff.
At all.
So first up coming in, this young lady has been one of my biggest supporters. She's been pushing me like to just be a better me since she learned that my name was Spanky. She was my manager. She was my friend. She was my confidant. She kept me from doing some really, really crazy things. And she bailed me out of some really, really crazy things. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Latanya Berry. Uh-oh. There we go.
Hey, welcome.
Hey guys, how you doing?
What's happening?
You got it. Thanks for having me.
Latanya, I'm not petty. I'm just saying.
I gotta put the disclaimer out. I have to. Gotta go before my word.
I appreciate it. All right. This next brother, Sam, I'll let you do it because you know all the names and I don't know.
Yeah, this next brother is someone that we were surprised that would even be on the show because of how busy he is with all of these names. So we have none other than Clifford E. Turner Jr. or Little Chief, Brother Sendoff, or Cliff Never Lied. That's what we're going with tonight. Those three.
Cliff Never Lied. That's what's up there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show,
Yes.
Cliff Never Lied. Bam.
Thank you.
Cliff.
Thank you.
Were you just sharpening your knife, sir?
I plan on going hunting a little later. So, yeah, just in time for Thanksgiving.
Okay, cool.
Before we get into it, Latanya, please tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Ooh, about me?
Yeah, just a
Lord.
little.
All right. Let's see. Latanya, born of Sandra and Tony, the thug and the librarian love story. Let's see. Saved early on in life. I know some people that's probably happier about that than I am on many occasions because it harnesses my pettiness quite often. But got my spiritual foundation at Liberty Temple Full Gospel. Relocated to California, where I am now a member of the Church for Me under Dr. David L. Hollister. Otherwise, a lot of people just know me in the industry, you know, whether it's marketing or actually putting it together myself, just creative.
Word. And because she's in California, her internet is slightly trash, so please bear with her. Sorry.
I mean, we can do a love offering. I mean, we can always try to figure out some T1 action for me. I mean, I'm never turning it down. What we doing?
Hey, you know, I'm not petty. I'm just saying. And then Cliff, tell us a little bit about yourself, sir.
Yeah, what can I say? Servant by day and comedian by night. Well, COVID put that to a halt, but hopefully when COVID dies, you know, I'll be able to get back into these comedy clubs, hopefully.
Are you doing like at home? Like, are you doing live stream comedy shows?
No. You know what? It's very tough. You know, no excuse. I didn't have quite a few comedian buddies of mine telling me to go ahead and do it. I'm just like, nah, it's not the same. So if anything, during these times, it's just a must to be creative. So I'm just trying to get my creative juices going.
Facts.
I'd rather be in the comedy club.
Well, our title tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is Saved and Single. Some of us, or a lot of us, claim to be saved, and we like to believe in our heart of hearts. You know, me and the Lord, Jesus is my homie. No, I'm joking. Let me start that over. People are. I feel the side eyes in the comments right now. Like they're like, this dude right here
Already.
already. It's only been what we're only 15 minutes in, so I got time. I got to spread this out. Got to spread this ratchetness out a little bit. So I just want to kind of get into it. So I am relatively newly single. Latanya, how long have you been single in this world?
Oh God, I don't want to talk about it right now.
Okay. That's a real statement. CJ, how about yourself?
Silence cannot be exploded. So I'm single though. I am single.
I mean, you kind of giving us black brothers a whole another complex.
Uh-oh. Who couldn't?
It's a fire alarm. Tell somebody to quit frying that chicken. They burn the chicken. Sam is no longer single. He just recently got married, but it's still fresh in his mind of what it used to be single. So that's why he's an authority on this.
Yeah, I was single, but if you ask my wife, I've been married to her all my life. So yeah, so I was never single at any point in my life, and we're gonna keep it that way,
Is that low burning back there?
I'm not saying she's burning anything at all, because once again, I've been married all of my life and I don't want no smoke. So
well, I mean, you don't want no smoke, but apparently your fire alarm is getting all the smoke right now. It's very audible.
No, our fire alarms are actually pretty trash, but it's cool.
It seems to be working just fine right now. Jaquay said cold showers, a lot of cold showers. That's true. I mean, it is not very easy to be single out here and saved. Can you guys just share some of your experiences of being saved and single, starting with Latanya?
I can. And I could put it in a nice little package and put a bow on it.
Hey.
Statement. The thoughts are a whole lot louder than the queens. And that's the truth. I mean, those of us that have standards, we're not out here, as some people like to say, busting it open for real players. But we want to wait for what's right. You know what I mean? So when you have a standard, it's rough. So all I can do is have faith in God that, what's right for me, the way he's created me to be there for, my husband, that he can't be wrong by the way he made me. So just got to be patient.
Facts.
Yeah.
What about you, CJ?
I told y'all to buckle up. No, but look, I wasn't always single and saved, to be honest. Especially in my 20s. In my 20s, I went about doing some things. I thought that I could get away doing some things on my own. I had a little bit of rebellion going on, if I must be honest. But you know what? How should I say this? Consequences. Consequences will eventually catch up with you. And I've experienced chilling in that frying pan, if I have you. So as of this present day, my intentions is to have my focus right. I don't want to be in a relationship as of now, because I want to, and I'm being honest when I say this, I want to have a better relationship with Christ first. And then not only that, I want to make sure that I am accomplishing his will, because for so long I have done things on my own. And I see how that had led me to pretty much nowhere. But as I'm going forth with God this time and I'm doing things his way, I see how things are working out, as far as the will that God has for my life.
I dig that. That's dope. And I feel like that is one thing that a lot of single people now are striving for, is just to get that relationship tight with God, so that way when they do come to meet that person they're going to spend the rest of their life with, or want to spend the rest of their life with, we ready. You know, it's 100% person going into a relationship with hopefully another 100% person. So like, what do you feel like? What are some of the challenges that you faced? You know, in this walk of being a saved single person.
To that, I'll say this. You really have to be honest about people that say, everybody that say that they're saved really aren't. Let's just call it for what it is. Then you have what I would like to just coin the new Christian nowadays that really want to say, well, his grace is sufficient, you know, God is merciful, you know, and all this other stuff. And they pretty much try to wash away the things that we're not supposed to be doing as Christians.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if we want to be honest, and don't nobody have to tell them. Tanya will tell you that I've fallen short myself. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I haven't been out here single for 10 plus years, you know, unmarried, and say, no, I ain't never curled up under, you know, and say, hey, how you?
Mm-hmm.
I can't do that because I'm human at the end of the day. So I've made my mistakes. So I'm not speaking on this from, you know, what I heard, because I had a conversation with somebody and they said something real strong. Now, for everybody that grew up in, you know, beautiful Wonderland and never heard anything before, here goes. I was told women like to sow as a hoe, but want to reap as a wife. And that's really unfortunate that you feel like you cracking your legs is going to get the man that God has designed for you. And it doesn't work that way. So, you know, it's easy to say, you know, are you Proverbs 31? But when you have men that's in the church that's praying on women, and I even heard a man say before, I need a woman with daddy issues. Why? To me, I had to think about that, because if a woman has daddy issues in the natural, she doesn't have a man growing up to affirm her in who she is, that she's a queen, she's a princess, and so forth, or even don't have that right relationship with Christ to say, hey, he's the lover of my soul. He takes care of me. You know, he nurtures me. He provides for me and all of that. So for me to say I'm going to submit to a man that's going to continue that in the natural, she doesn't have a basis to start with. So that's me. I'll leave it there. Your turn, Cliff.
Right on. You know what? One of the challenges, because there are many, but one of the challenges is, especially with us as believers, we are called to be set apart. So with that, when I say set apart, we have to be set apart from the systems of this world, and we have to be set apart from how the way the world goes about doing things. And it's just a matter of not going to certain places, you know, where you could be tempted to do some things. And we all know what those some things are. And you might even have to, well, consider myself, I have to stay away from some people, because the Bible also tell us that bad company corrupts good morals. So I have to watch who I hang out with. I have to watch where I go. I even have to watch what I watch on television and social media. I mean, I'm keeping the book. There's times where I'm on social media and then, you know, someone is almost nude, and, you know, I gotta either, I don't know how, you know, they came on, you know, how they're on my timeline, but I have to either keep scrolling or block, you know, just so that doesn't get on the inside. And I know some people probably tuned in probably like, what is this guy talking about? But it's just a matter of, you know, it's just a matter of aiming for like holiness, pretty much. And that doesn't mean that we're perfect people or we're more superior than other people, but that just means that we want to be like God. We want to honor God with our lives as believers.
That's dope. Like, I could definitely attest to what you're saying. Like, when I became single, that was a lot of people that I work with first suggestion to me. They was like, you need to get into something. Like you need to like get into something. Go, instead of being holy, go be holy. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, nah, that's not what I want to do. You know, and like trying to convey your purpose that you want to be a better person to people that may not understand that is definitely a journey in itself. But I definitely get what you're saying with the social media thing, because OnlyFans has turned a lot of my social media into advertising for a lot of people. So
Cool.
pray for me. And because like social media is very like intricate in my industry that I work in, and Latanya, you could definitely attest to this. Sometimes, you know, you can't escape it. It's there. So it's like now you have to kind of strengthen yourself to kind of endure a lot of those challenges, especially like being a musician out here. It's just like, you know, when the world was open, it was readily available, and you had to like look, you know, you have to do the with the Drake hand with it, like you know, Heisman on him. Heisman on him.
Only deacons.
Right.
Only deacons.
You got my profile on Only Deacons. You know what I'm saying?
Psalms 48.
You know what, Spank? The one thing that I do know from men, people, period. It doesn't have to just be a man, but seeing as though it's the man that's supposed to seek out his wife, and you know, not that trashy talk that women say, "Girl, I got to go find me a man." No, you out of order right there, because we're not supposed to be the ones that's going to seek. We're supposed to be prepared when he find us, and I've had that even fine tuned, you know, by my bishop, you know, to tell us that okay, but it's us that can refuse it, because everybody that finds you is not meant to have you. Just because somebody stumbled, oh hey, how you doing? I'm sorry, sir, mister. You can keep it pushing. I'm not supposed to go home with you. But what I have learned is that when a man or anybody finds something that they feel that is of value and they worried about somebody else getting it, they secure it. Sam, that's why you married now, because you say, hey, this woman is good for me. I need her. I need to wife her, because I don't need her left on the market for somebody else to step up and appear to be who I should be. And I know I'm called to be in her life. So I need to put a ring on it and let me get these vows together. That's that. But because the standard has changed so much and women have lowered their expectations of what they need, they've settled for being the side piece or the number one boo, because they made themselves emotionally unavailable. It's like, I don't expect nothing out of you no more than you give me a $40 holler. You help me on a bill here and there. They're not expecting it anymore. It's all out the window, which is sad. But I have to keep the faith that there is a remnant, because I know I ain't been sitting out here yet holding on.
But
I know it. I'm real confident in it. I'm real confident.
you're not wrong though. But I feel like since I've been re-entered the dating rail, the roles have changed a lot. You know, the women are now the huntresses a lot out here. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt violated plenty of times. Just like literally. I'm just saying, like I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. But like no, but seriously, like you know, you think you're trying to like pursue people and like you find yourself being hunted, like you're the prey, and it's like, whoa, like how do I even like proceed in this situation? Like, because women are like hyper aggressive now. They're the Me Too movement only goes one way. You know, so it's like the standard of like holiness, especially in church and outside of church, you know, is definitely not the same for men and women. You know what I'm saying? They hold us men to a different standard than the women do. Like, you know, women can get very handsy, and you know, no one is. I'm not even capping, bro. Like for real, this is just real talk. This is experience that I've experienced in the last 4 years that I've been out here. So,
No, it's the truth. It's honestly a lot of guys that's in positions or I'll say areas of prominence. And for the sake of time, let's just say leaders in the church. And women, let's call a lot of women chase titles because they want to be Mrs. So-and-so because you're recognized. She want to stand next to you. So at the end of the day, a lot of them, they really just want to stand next to your position and not the man himself, because they're not considering what it takes to cover that man while he's at home. So he is prepared to get to the masses. And they wonder why it's so much conflict in the home. And I don't have a book, I don't have a following, nothing, but here's my opinion. If we were taken from the man a rib, right? We're his rib. We're out of place if we're not meant to go into that. We're not a part of that man's body at the end of the day. So we're extra foot. That's why we irritate y'all. You're not looking for an extra foot. You're not looking for an extra elbow. That's why she irritate the mess out of you, because she's not your rib. She belongs to somebody else, but you trying to make her fit.
Mm-hmm.
So when it's a problem, and that's why folks run into divorce court left and right, because you're trying to make something fit that it don't. And we all went to preschool and daycare. The square does not go in the hole. It don't fit.
Nope.
First and foremost, this is hilarious that the sound that she's doing with what she's doing.
It's like those old karate movies. It's really bad.
Like Japanese movie for real.
That's legit though, because some people are marrying people who are still for the streets, you know, and it's straight like that. I'm actually happy to be married in this day and age. Being single was cool, but it was hard. It was hard. I had being single. I mean, like Latanya talked about me finding a wife and men looking for the wife. I found my wife by surprise. Like, had known, like, we had the same friend group for over 10 years. Never ran into each other. One day ran into each other. And even still, I had to slide in her DMs in the most holiest way ever. You know, I was like, sister, can I pray for you? Shout out, I'm from Liberty. We gotta lay hands. Somebody, I won't take credit for that joke. Somebody from Liberty gave me that joke. He knows who he is. But yeah, like I had to like search her out and really be intentional. And when you're single, I found out the best way to be happy in singleness and saved is when you know what you're doing. So if you're just like, look, I'm just be by myself for this amount of time, be cool with that. But if you're like dating or you're ready to settle down, then be intentional about your pursuit when you are trying to settle down.
Yeah. And then also honesty with yourself, because you can have, you can be committed with your body, but your heart and your mind is still for the streets. That's going to be a constant conflict that you're going to be battling with daily. Like I'm in fear of capping, as as Darius so eloquently put it. Like, I'm just saying, like, things that I've encountered being a musician in churches and being a musician on the scene. Like, there's so many people ready to just like own you. You know what I'm saying? They want to have that part of you and just say, like, and present you as a trophy. They want you to be that trophy. Like, hey, I date this person, and they want their Facebooks and Instagram pictures to look like a certain way, and they want that last name that brings them the notoriety and the money, and they want to be first lady so and so and da 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 da. And it's like, that's not what I'm here for. I'm looking for that companionship. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for that teammate to help me grow in purpose and in life. You know what I'm saying? So, are you she, or do I find another?
Another.
I'm glad you said companionship too, because I feel like, well, let me apply it to my life. I was always told growing up, as far as let friendship be the foundation. Well, when I say growing up, let me say, as far as me leaving the nest and then learning the proper way to date, because of course I went about it the wrong way. But I had to discover how true that was, as far as when you meet someone, you just don't want to just dive straight on in. And what's unfortunate is that society tell us, and not only society, but our peers, our family, everyone seems like they want you to rush and just go ahead and get married. And it's like, you know what? Well, for me, I had to take a step back, and I had to realize, like, maybe, let me go about a different route. Let me go about befriending people first, instead of diving straight on in and not knowing, so much about a person. And then next thing you know, you all are married and you don't even know about each other,
Mm-hmm.
So friendship is definitely what I would suggest to people that are saved and single. And you want to be in a relationship, but you don't want to rush. You definitely don't want to be ahead of God. But going about doing things the right way and having a foundation of friendship first, I believe that's one of the ways how relationships can succeed.
Tanya, you had your hand up.
No, I'm moving slow, but my hand wasn't up. That wasn't me. That wasn't me.
To piggyback on what you said, Cliff, one thing that I'm noticing out here too is like when I said earlier, like the roles have reversed. Women will say whatever they need to say to get what they want. You know what I'm saying? Just like men used to do, like or still do. Some men still do it. They'll be like, "Yeah, I'll be your friend. I'll be your friend," and then at that moment of weakness,
That's real.
you showed yourself friendly. Now they'll come and cause you to fall.
Yeah, that's real. I found that out in my singleness. I especially when I was intentional about, looking for a wife. Not, I'm saying I was out day one, like, oh, she my wife. No, but intentional about being ready, getting myself prepared for marriage the best I could. I had to figure out which friends were really my friends and which ones weren't my friends. And even like still, like my wife now, she was able to point out people like, nope, you can't be friends with them. And I'm like, why? They cool. Nope. And then, eventually people say things, you find out things, and you're like, okay. All right.
For your body, bro. They want you for your body.
I know, man. I know. But they can't have me. I belong to low in Jesus. Low in Jesus.
But what I hear more often than probably you should is people saying that my child is my best friend. My kid is my friend when they have a whole spouse, at home. And that's out of order, completely. And I remember watching movies and even in real life a couple of times in suburban America. I am not going to call out any ethnicity, but you can almost clock it. When they pull up to the house and they sitting in the driveway and they're staring at the garage and they just beating on the steering wheel like, I got to go in this house. I hate everybody in there. And with me, every time I saw it, I would laugh. And I just promised myself, whenever I get married, that won't be mine. Mine going to be tearing down the door trying to get in the house. Like, hey, look, can I leave early? To her, because if you don't have a friend in your spouse, you have nothing. What you got? Call it. You got a sex partner, and hopefully somebody with a little sense that y'all can, build a life together financially. And a roommate. That's it. You don't have a friend. But anytime you feel like I can't talk to this person that I'm laying next to at night, about the intimate things of my heart, that's going on, or they're not going to listen to me, they don't value, or either they just slow, they don't get it, but they're a good person. You really think you were meant to do this thing called life with somebody who don't get you? Not at all.
Sorry, just waiting for the picture to catch. I'm not petty. I'm just saying.
Hey, listen, it's out there.
It's all love, T. No, that's good. Like, first and foremost, like, LaTanya, you surprising the mess out of me right now. Like, you talking good tonight.
Well, I mean, I do have an edification. I do have a prayer life. I mean, I got a couple things going. I'm not 40 on accident. It has happened for a reason.
No, just because we've talked before, just you've helped me through a lot of the personal issues that I've gone through, and just in conversation. So, like, first and foremost, I appreciate you for that. But like, you've definitely shown yourself to be a good friend, and then in that, like, you just want to make sure you find the friend that is for you and has your best interest in mind, because there are friends that are looking to position themselves to get to something. Mm-hmm. It may not even be sex. It may just be access to something that you have. So, like, that's one thing that I've had to like peep out in my life, is like people who are there just for access and for sorry, I got distracted by a comment.
Delayed but not denied is the.
Oh no, but I did see a question that I would love to say something about.
Yes, let's answer some questions.
I think somebody said something about how is dating during quarantine.
Yeah.
Honestly, I love it. But Cliff, I'll let you go first.
You know what? I can't speak for everybody else, but I can speak for myself when it comes to dating during quarantine. I'm not dating right now. You know what? This whole year, uh, I believe God's been dealing with me about my focus, and I had to shift my focus from distractions. And I would call dating a distraction for right now for my life. I'm not saying that for everybody else, but that's just for my life. But my whole thing is I just want to draw closer to God, and I know that that's like the politically right way answer to give, but I'm really serious. Um, but yeah, I'm just focused on developing a better relationship with God for right now.
That's real. Cliff never lied.
Never lie.
You know what? I like that, Cliff, because here's a cussing word in dating: submission in marriage. A lot of women have a problem with that word. It's like submitting. What I'm submitting to him for? I'm fully grown. I got my own job. I can take care of myself, and I don't need him for nothing. And blah blah blah. Blah. But when it's all said and done, when you sign up, when you say, "Hey, this is my husband," you have submitted to this man, because the order of things then becomes God, your husband, and then it's you. Because when it's over, if he's leading you all as a unit and he led you astray and you wrong, he got to answer to God first. Of course, you're not supposed to be airhead. You have your own personal relationship. It is what it is. So, Cliff, I respect that so much to say I need to get focused, to getting me together before I pull a woman into this situation. Because let's call it, you're a handsome guy. You got stuff going for yourself. I mean, it's a lot of things that a woman would say, "Hey, Cliff." If you get the call, and that's easy. So that's real responsible of you to say that. But dating during quarantine, I think is probably one of the best times to date for a couple of reasons. One, that person can't rely on, let me slide on you real quick. I'm gonna come on, let's Netflix and chill. No, 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 no. I got Netflix on my own. I want to hear your mind. I want to hear how you process things. Life has changed for a lot of people. It's not just, all right, I'm gonna get up and go punch this clock real quick, or you can do business as usual. In a crisis, how do you manage? How are you managing for yourself in this before you say, okay, I could take care of both of us? How are you taking care of you?
Right.
Right now during this pandemic. So if a man is still able to thrive in this pandemic right now, and when I'm talking to him and he can't just do a whole bunch of fluff, did you see that? That's crazy. No. Let's have a real conversation. What we talking about. So I think it's a great time.
No, I totally agree. Like the distractions that, usually can happen in dating, like the whole going out to eat thing, the whole movies thing, like all of that is eliminated. You have no other choice but to hold meaningful conversation, and there's ample time to do it. Like, for instance, like when I was when quarantine started, I was on a dating app. I was on Hinge, and I had met a few ladies on there, but a lot of the conversations stopped because they were not presenting substance. So like in that, it was just like, okay, nah, I'm not even enjoying this conversation. So like, but there was one young lady that we ended up dating for a little bit before she moved back to her home state. But like it was great conversation. Like, and I felt like I got to know her at an accelerated pace because it was nothing to do but talk. And it's just like you had nothing to do but be transparent with a person and just talk about everything, because there's nothing else to do. You can't go be face to face all the time, because if you ain't in a negative COVID test, we ain't seeing each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, let's go get COVID tested together. That's our date. You know what I'm saying?
That's legit. That's legit. I go on dates all the time. Yeah. But I have my wife and my daughter, so I'm doing a lot of dating during quarantine. It's quite expensive too, but
yeah, and now it's real because there's no more. Okay, let's go to the show. How much talking do you really do, or getting to know somebody? Just getting in the car, ride to the theater, watch a movie. Which, if you even start to try to talk, oh yeah, shh, okay, my bad. I was just trying to ask what we doing later. And then you go home or whatever. It's you miss all of that in between stuff that you need to hear, because and a lot of that people can compensate for what they don't want you to know about them. But when you got plenty of conversation, oh, you getting it all. You getting it all.
And then with that ample time to talk, there's less time for lies to be supported. Like, how long can you truly like uphold a lie and like, hide who you truly are when there's nothing but words to like back it up? If you can't maintain that persona that you're trying to present with your words, and like eventually your words are going to run out in that situation, and you have to present who you really are. And a lot of people just can't make it past that, and that's the unfortunate part. We had another question I thought I saw in the comments, but if you do have questions too, please feel free to type them in. We'll do our best to
Type them in now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But no, COVID-19.
Don't judge me. I never said that I was a pro. I'm speaking from personal. It wasn't. Go ahead, Tal.
Yeah. We got a question that just popped up.
Speaking of, I got an answer for this one.
What are some flags that you look for when you're getting to know someone?
I heard someone say something about a question like this, and they were talking about, how do I put this? So they said certain things are red flags, but certain things aren't red flags. And if we look at everything as a red flag, then we'll end up being single for the rest of our lives. So there's some things, you know, that we're just like, we can't put up with for sure. But there's other things that you have to be like, oh, this person is a human being, and I just may not like this thing. Now, it might not be something like super serious, because it's a lot of people out here who are shallow, to say the least, who are like, oh, this person wears their shoes this way, I can't be with them. And that's a red flag for them. So we have to go, I think we have to stop looking at everything as red flags or being so particular, because men and women can miss out on who they should be with because of these red flags.
Agree. I have a problem with anyone that feel like they're never wrong. So somebody that's always right, you know, and even if it doesn't come from them, well, my mama said, and my daddy told me, well, I know for a fact. Those people drive me up a wall and make me get my distance. And the other thing is inconsistencies. I can deal with it. I can respect you 100% if you just be honest. I feel like when you lie, you're managing my intelligence, because you're saying you can't handle the truth. So, Tanya, I'm gonna give you this to hold. You can do that. Those two things are red flags to me.
Yeah,
I can't. Yeah.
What about you, Cliff?
It's quite a few, but I'm really selective. But one thing that's coming to mind right now is like rushing. You know, it's really true with the quote, only fools rush in. I don't really like rushing into anything. I like to take my time, you know. That's the only thing I can think of as of now.
One of the big red flags for me is the disregard of someone's mental health. Like, for me, like, since I've gotten my divorce, I went through like counseling and learned what I needed to be mentally healthy for myself. And I know like what those flags look like when someone is like, you know, very about themselves, and what manipulation looks like the whole guilt trips and stuff like that, because you don't want to do something that they want to do. They disregard you. Like, for instance, I am a introvert. Sometimes I don't want to talk on the phone, or sometimes I can't talk on the phone because like doing something like this show is a drain on me, emotionally. So like on Mondays, I don't talk to anybody. I don't take phone calls. I rarely, you know, take business on Mondays. So what I've run into is people still demand that time because they see that as free time when it's not free time. That is time for me to recharge and rebuild and make myself better for when Tuesday comes. So that being disregarded is a red flag for me, because now you're showing me like you don't care about my health. You want to just be taken care of for yourself. You're just like, but what about me? And those "what about me" people are going to be the detriment to a long-term relationship, because not only is that going to transfer, that's going to translate to things in the future. I'm sorry. So you're talking about like financially, what about me? You're talking about like, emotionally, that now it's unbalanced. You know what I'm saying? So just knowing like someone's regard of, your mental health should be a red flag. If someone's like, cool, I won't bother you on Mondays, that's a plus for me, because now you're respecting, my opportunity to heal. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me.
I got into a real back and forth with one that used to be a friend of mine, and it was about date. I had gone out on a date, one day with a guy, and then next time we got ready to go out, I'm just talking to my girlfriend, and I says, you know what, this time it's gonna be my treat. I'm gonna take him somewhere that I think we should go, and I just want to do something different. And when I tell you full neck roll was in action, oh, you out of your mind. Ain't no
What?
way in the world I'm about to be paying for no ninja to go nowhere. And he's supposed to take me out. And my whole position was about it. The same man, the same mouth that can say, here you go, baby, is the same one that can say, thank you.
Mhm.
I appreciate that, because the end of the day, men, I can only believe y'all have feelings too. You all want to feel appreciated, as well. And it's sad that so many people, single or married, need a calendar to remind them how to appreciate the person that they're with. It's, oh Lord, here come Valentine's Day. I know if I don't walk up in the house with some flowers or some, she ain't gonna cook no groceries. She gonna have attitude. It's terrible. Why can't you just walk past something in the mall and go, I think they'll like that? And that goes both ways. Why can't you just see something online and say, you know what, I'm gonna just do something just because? And those kind of things, even in dating, are important to me. Don't be a calendar lover and checking for me. That's all, because I'm not that.
Calendar lover, hashtag calendar lover. Don't
put in that. Y'all heard that? Don't be a calendar lover. And when you was talking, I feel like a lot of people, they never dated God and spent time with God and becoming intimate with him. So they don't know how to date other people. Like, because God does stuff for us just because too. So when you talked about just because, like, God is like, oh yeah, you having a rough week or a rough month, I'm gonna just drop this on you real quick. And you're like, oh, for me, Jesus? Is this for me? And he's like, yeah, I got you. And so when you don't spend time with God, I think that is one of the ways that people don't understand how to date, because they don't know intimacy. Because even while you're dating somebody, there should be some level of intimacy that you're trying to reach. I'm not talking about sex for you all that think intimacy is just sex, but there should be some level of intimacy that you're trying to reach.
And to piggyback on what Chanel said in her comments, people with no dreams and aspirations are a red flag for me too. You know what I'm saying? Women that have no purpose in life or no dreams or no aspirations is the most unattractive thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that you don't have a reason to wake up for the next day. You just existing. Like, who wants somebody that's just existing? You have no, like, now you can't add anything or any value to my life. You can't help me at any point because you don't even know how to help yourself. So that's just me. We had another question in the comments. Unless anybody want to kind of get in on that one before we go to the next question.
What was the question?
Yeah.
Well, she's just saying, like, some of her red flags were just people that didn't have any aspirations or goals for their lives.
Oh, that's not a man. That's a boy anyway. Okay.
You are a boy. Let's go to the other question.
From Vanyetta.
Yeah.
It was about so her question was, okay, cool. So what do you all think about meeting and marrying within 6 months? It seems to be very common among believers.
Yeah, and that's why the divorce rate is so high among believers too.
That's what I was gonna say.
Old school, it's better to marry than to burn, and that's so out of context, anyway. And it's sad that you're doing that thinking that you're doing right, anyway, just so you can rush to the bed. But if you're marrying someone that God didn't ordain for you to be with anyway, you're still out of order. So you want him to bless a mess. So it's still gonna be problems.
Is that saying even biblical though? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that might just be one of those church sayings.
Exactly. That's what I said. That's so out of context. That's a mess. And look, I'm guilty. I'm one of them. I got married before because I said, you know what? If I'm gonna be doing it, it's gonna be legal.
Getting married smash, like no one just wants to like legally smash. Like, I'm sorry, that just doesn't make sense to me. Like it doesn't compute. Like especially now that I've gone through a divorce. Like first and foremost, it's expensive. It's draining mentally, spiritually, and physically to go through something like that. So why would I just marry somebody just to have sex with somebody? Like that just, I don't get it.
But Spank, that goes two ways because you get people that do it, you know, in an effort in their mind to walk upright before God. But then you get people that say, you know, think like you, but not completely think like you. Like, okay, well, what am I marrying for? You know, he'll keep me in perfect peace, not PEACE, but PIECE. I'm gonna give me a perfect peace, and I'm gonna run around with it. I'm fine who I'm supposed to be with. But if I can have a final thought or statement, I would just say it's important for both to seek God because everything that look right ain't right. It's comical, but somebody said if you put syrup on crap, it don't make it pancakes. So you can dress it up all you want. Somebody can look the part. People can even fake it because there's some cold actors and actresses out here. I mean, they are amazing and they will take you for a ride of your life. But that ride can be halted and you ain't never got to start it if you seek God about who this person really is. I mean, it's important to pray to see their heart and their intention for you and not what you want.
And then Denise Cross kind of gave us the scriptural reference to that. It's better to, you know, marry than to burn. But like, it's also one of those things that a lot of churches do where they just say part of the scripture and don't, you know, read the part before and after. And it is definitely said for the unmarried and for the widows. So those are people that, you know, have experienced that intimacy at one point before and now have to deal with it without it. So it's like, you know, that passion that is burning. That's something that's been awakened.
That fire.
That fire burns deep within.
That's what I was going to say too. Well, you know what? Let me stop first. Let me apologize. I have DMX over for dinner, so he's in the next. I definitely agree with you though, because you do have some people that are seasoned and they are mature, and yeah, they may have been married before, so they can, everyone's life is different, and people are going to, marry, I know people that are married like a couple of months after meeting each other, be way before 6 months, and some people choose to wait a couple of years, some choose to wait a lifetime. But I think it's all up to the individual. I mean, I expect anyone to, especially if you go through that marital counseling. I think marital counseling is overlooked, and I think that's one of the reasons why we have such high divorce rates in our country. And it's and the body of Christ, unfortunately, even believers are not getting premarital counseling. I think that's so important.
Yeah, and it's premarital and postmarital and.
Post them,
during marriage, like as much counseling because you need that mediator to like, hey, no, you tripping, and then you tripping. Y'all just need to, let's work this out.
Yeah.
Like communication is key in any relationship from friendship on up. So, and when you got two different human beings from two different backgrounds trying to coexist as one unit, having that mediator just helps out a lot. Like even I even suggest counseling, as you're single, because like even as Victoria asks, how do you think it's important to learn how to be alone? Some people just don't know how to be alone and don't know how to deal with yourself. So if you could deal with yourself, it trains you very well to deal with somebody else.
Yeah, that is real. Yeah, it's better at times. Not now. I love not being alone anymore. Everybody in America, but back in the day, it was great being alone, and I had to also get therapy before I got married because there were things and deliverance because there was things I said I was not taking into my marriage, and then even with having kids later on, it was things I didn't want my children to go through because there were things that I struggled with. So you have to be able to have enough wisdom to say, okay, I don't want to put these things on my future spouse. I don't want to carry these things anymore. And if we decide to have children, I don't want my children to have it either. And then you have to just be okay with that and know that that's the best decision.
Yeah. I say if we can evolve as individuals, we mature is levels to us, then our love language may change along the way. And if you're not with someone that's conscious enough to continue to seek God to know how to love you in your progression and your maturity, then you're in trouble too. And it may not always just be the spiritual route. It is important to say, you know what? And I think that's one thing. And I'm grateful that the ministry that I'm a part of now is big on mental health. It's sad that, especially in the Black church, if you tell somebody, I got to go see a therapist, I need to talk to somebody, I need a few minutes or whatever, they look at you like you crazy. Oh, you out of your mind. All you need is Jesus. You need to pray some more. Yeah, you lay. No, really. It's some stuff going on up here. I need to talk it out. You know what I mean? It's nothing wrong with therapy. Nothing.
At all.
No, I would agree.
At all.
Go to therapy.
And
I'm sorry, Tanya, forgive me. I'm so glad you said that because Apostle Lathan, she stresses that a lot as far as for us as the congregation to go about getting mental, therapy. Because I've even went and I've had quite a few sessions. And you know what? I wish I would have started back when I was a teenager, because it was just a lot of things I was going through personally and I never told anyone. But, a few sessions later, I have so much clarity, understanding, freedom, peace of mind. A lot of people really consider, like you said, for therapy to be underrated, and I think a lot of us need it, especially during these times. We're indoors. A lot of people are scared to come outside. A lot of people are scared to look out the window. And that's just, what's on the surface. And no telling what else is going on deep down within. So if anyone is interested in therapy, you should definitely consider going to some like women just counseling therapy. Yeah.
There's so many resources.
Which we partner with, my church partner, and they're national, NAMI, NAMI. I mean, it's just a place to start if you don't know where to go. But I know that they do a phenomenal work, in the community. Great place to start.
And I'm saying that a lot of those there's a lot of free resources and a lot of paid resources. So there's no excuse. They
have apps. They have therapists. If you don't want to talk to people about your issues, you can text. Yeah. So there's ways to do it.
And I know, like, after this pandemic is over, I'm going to need some more counseling. I'm going to have to go back with my counselor just because, as an introvert, this pandemic has played into my introvertisms, and I've not had the I was training myself to be around people because of my career, and now that I don't have to be around people, I found myself being more reclusive, and now I have to kind of get back into being around humans again. So, like, when people while dating and people like the women give me like the silent treatment, I'd be like, don't threaten me with a good time. Like, please be quiet. Like, I'm fine with that. Like, I talk. I'm all about that life. There was another question I think popped up there. Pastor Timothy Lane is also a dope resource in the Chicagoland area, and I think he does a lot of virtual stuff too. So if you're not in the Chicagoland area, check him out. He has books and everything. To get you right. You said that's your therapist, CJ?
Yeah, and I even done I did a Zoom with him for one of our sessions, and just as powerful.
My therapist too, so highly recommend it. 2 out of 4 people said he's good, so
Dave, feel free to say something if you want. The comments are open. Bitch, you ain't gotta bite your tongue. This is not one of them bite your tongue shows. If you feel say it. It's like so many marriages are suffering due to COVID. They are trapped in the house and forced to talk and deal with each other. That's a real thing. I know a lot of people who were just kind of hanging on by a thread before the pandemic, and now you know, they living in separate parts of the house,
Yeah.
you know, and like no one's addressing it because no one has thought to bring in a counselor or a mediator into that situation and deal with the issue. Or
That
some
sounds-
people may not even see it as an issue.
Mm-hmm. That sounds pretty prideful to me, you know. And so if you're prideful, go to therapy, deal with it.
Well, I think they're just forced to really accept who they're with, because when you have your busy life, you're in and out the house, and you know you going about your life, they're going about theirs. Usually, it's late when you get home. You know, you eat, watch your TV show. You know, you just passing by each other and not really interacting, you know, with each other. It's that's a no-fly zone for me.
Facts. Like, I mean, like that happens so often, even before the pandemic, where people are just like high and by, and they think they're married, but they're not even like together anymore. They've already separated and like mentally before they even physically separate.
Mhm.
So we have to understand why we are getting married too.
But Spank said they're not married; they're contracted. That's it.
Ooh.
We got
Legally bound.
we got a contract. You're not married. Marriage is more than just the ceremony in itself. It takes work
Mhm.
Mhm.
to be married. You know, just to say, oh, I just spent tens of thousands of dollars on this big ceremony. Just because you have a beautiful ceremony don't mean that you're going to have an equivalent marriage. You can have something small and intimate and have the best marriage ever, and it lasts. It has staying power, because I know my grandparents, they didn't have these big lavish ceremonies, and they stayed together to the end. I mean,
Yeah, no, I've definitely seen like men who hold their marriage certificates up like, yeah, you're legally obligated to give me that booty every, you know, Thursday at 7 p.m. So like, you know, like when you got to like that, bro, it's time to like reevaluate.
You do not want contracted booty at all. You do not want. If you married, you don't want contracted anything. You want it because they want to give it to you. And
consent.
consented everything.
But if you got a scheduler, you in trouble.
Man, scheduling that booty.
That's all I'm saying. If you got to schedule some get together time with your spouse, you're in trouble. You got more problems than you think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Ski baby, look, I need you to meet me in the bedroom at 6:55 for the undressing, and then at 7 p.m. we will proceed, you know, engage in foreplay, and then at 7:15 on the dot, there will be some type of no, yeah, we're not going to get into the details. Delia was asked on behalf of Vicky.
Wait, what was? Man, I'm about
Vicky
to write.
said, Vicky said Delia asked where all the single men at.
They're at home. On
I'm attracted to me. I'm about to write it.
It is. Don't nobody want no military booty. Okay, now you said that I can get this while we was making this happen. That I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's wild. Look,
No,
it's wild.
No, that's all bad for me.
Now, but I
Super
feel like
bad.
with the schedule quality time, like first and foremost, you need to reevaluate your life. If your schedule's that busy to where you have to schedule quality time with your spouse, not your girlfriend, your spouse, somebody that you've already committed your life to, like then you need to like literally reevaluate your life. And you know, I think that's just because I've been there. Like I'm a professional musician, and like if I don't work, we don't eat. So like, you know, I look at generating as much income as possible, but I can't sacrifice my relationship for that again.
No, but Spanky, that's a lot of people go into a marriage with the exit strategy more so than how we're going to make this work strategy. It's well, if it don't work, we can always just get a divorce. You know, oh, well, at least I tried. And that's a mess, because a true connection and true intimacy with your mate means that if you can't make it home at 6 o'clock, you know, our usual get together. Okay, where you gonna be at? You gonna be downtown? Okay, I'm gonna be near Cermak. Okay, I tell you what, I'm gonna rent us a room in between that spot. If you can meet me there, let's make it happen. Love you, baby. You go your way, I go mine. as Apostle Turner used to say, the proof of your desire is in your pursuit.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
Period. If you want to make it happen, you're gonna make it happen. Only thing people got to do is be honest. What efforts did you go through when you was trying to do wrong? What did you do? What lines did you cross to get what you wanted? When it was in the wrong. Now, if this is your right, put that same work into it.
Because think about it. Most people, when you were single and you were in your stuff, you didn't worry about sleep. You ain't worry about like what time you had to get up the next day. You was like, I gotta get this in, and we're gonna get it in to an extent. You know what I'm saying? And like people saying like that's date night, but yeah, no, date night is you can schedule time for a date, but that intimacy time you have with your spouse should be plentiful. Because what Dave said, like what one woman want, another woman will.
Yeah.
In so many words.
I'm gonna put y'all on free game, okay? This for all the married couples. Look, especially if you got kids and they're in school, not babies, but kids that are in school. When they're on e-learning, pause your camera on that Zoom meeting, turn off your microphone, go to the bathroom, turn some music up, do what you got to do real quick, and then go back out and handle your responsibilities. as an adult.
Time Sam camera go and it's
right. Sam will go dark for a second.
Look, my camera is never on, and I'm always muted when I'm on Zoom call. So you never know what I'm doing.
Right. You know what you're doing in Sunday school now. I don't agree with that 100%. I do believe you have to schedule time with your spouse, just like you do with your time with God. If that is the lifestyle you have, i.e., I'm completing doctoral studies, a mother, leader at work, within the community. Oftentimes we must schedule. I get it. If that works for your marriage.
Yeah.
Sometimes that don't work for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Some people need it. Hey, if I give you this look, I need you to be ready.
All I'm saying is impromptu can be amazing. That's all I'm saying. Like Sam, you gave the best example of what I'm talking about. The impromptu. Like, all I can say, whoever Mister is that's gonna put some hardware over here. I'm not petty. I'm just saying.
I mean, sometimes you just gotta go ahead and put that hand in front of that camera. Like, look, hold on.
Yes, sir.
See, Dave, so I'm gonna invite you all to my Take Care of Home conference in Vegas. Hey, I'm down.
Down.
I'll be there.
Of course you will.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course. Lord, I hope I'm not embarrassing us, Bishop. Lord Jesus.
Bishop is a legend too. If y'all don't know who Bishop Dave Hollister is, he's a legend.
Legend. Look, Dave, look at I'm so talented. I should be not single. First and foremost, spelling and grammar. But I'm not mentally ready for a relationship. 100. Keep my black A in the word. Eventually, she will come. Okay. I get that, and this is one thing I want to say because I've heard women say like, he gonna find me. I'm gonna be found. But if you don't leave your house, if you don't put yourself in a position to be found, I'm sorry. If a guy's knocking on your door and saying, I'm supposed to marry you, he's probably the pizza man, your Grubhub delivery guy, your Instacart delivery, and I don't think that's what you want in this life. You know what I'm saying? You want to consider like your options.
What is DMX?
I'm sorry. This is over in the next room.
What you really? As long as DMX is saying a prayer, bro, I think you're good. You could be on for as long, Is there any other questions y'all want to put in the comments? You still got time.
Still a little time. I know we're being really serious at moments, but I think we've all had really bad dating experiences that are quite hilarious. Let's talk about some of those.
Yikes.
Let's talk.
I promised the people tuning in I would be open and honest. So go ahead, T.
I'm gonna let y'all go first on this one. I'm still.
Ahead,
I'll go.
Ooh.
Gather around. I'm gonna tell you a little story. I'm gonna keep it brief though. Where do I begin? So I was taking a friend out one night, and mind you, I'm on her side of town, and I chose to do reservations, and she lived maybe like 10 minutes away from the restaurant. So I scoop her. We on our way to the restaurant. All of a sudden, she gets shocked because she see a new store in her community, and she hits me with the, "Oh my God, I can't believe we got a La Fitness." I said, "La." I turned to the right, showing up LA Fitness. I just looked at her and was like, "Real special."
You so
real, I'm gonna give you another chance though. So that was strike one. About 5 minutes from the restaurant, y'all. She looks to the right again and was like, "Come on now. We got a Chippatown." I said, "Chippatown?" I said, "That sounds Italian." I looked to the right again. It's Chipotle. You know what, y'all? I didn't even tell her. I made a U-turn and took her back home, and I took myself out to Uncle Julio's.
Uncle Julio.
Oh,
yeah.
Bruh, I'm weak.
I got some more stories, but they probably tuning in, so I ain't gonna go in on it.
My bad date experience wasn't as hilarious as that. First and foremost, Poe baby, like poor little Pink Tank for real, like still little Pink Tank. But my thing was like I had been conversing with a young lady, and we met up in person, and when someone like intrigues you mentally, you have this description of like what this person is going to be, like how the connection is going to be when you meet up with this person. We met up face to face, and there was no type of connection, like no type of physical connection. Like there was no, and then the mental connection was, I guess she was like, when you're texting someone, they can plan out their conversations, and when you're talking to someone, they can kind of talk, like they can take notes, and you may not know that they're taking notes. So we go to have conversation while we're out to dinner, and she's not talking like she did when we were talking on the phone and when we were texting. I'm like, this can't be the same person. And let's just say I may have faked an emergency to end. Somebody may or may not have died that didn't die, but they did die.
So you faked it. Mine was real, and I was so happy about it. Okay. So, because I got a couple, but this one I'm gonna just go with your emergency. So I said, you know what? Forget this. I'm going on a date. Yes, I am. I'm going out. I want to put on some real clothes, and I'm gonna have myself a ball. Okay, so I got all the way dressed up. I'm ready. I said, okay, I'm ready. Where are we going? He said, I found a really nice spot. We should be good. I don't even have to make reservations. I said, okay, let's do it. I said, where are we going? He said, Chili's. I said, excuse me? I put on my good clothes. You're not understanding. I went to this side of my closet, over here that I don't fool with like that. He said, no, just me. I said, you know what? I'm already dressed. I want to go out. Let's do it. I get there. Now, mind you, over the phone, like y'all said, over the phone, he sound okay so far. Sound like he, got some sense. I get there first, so I'm already hot. Now I got to sit here and I'm waiting for you in Chili's in a booth. Black people don't go to booths. We sit in a booth. I'm sitting in the booth by myself. He walks in. I smelled him before I saw him. Why? Because I live in California. That's 420 friendly. I said, who is that? He walks up, slides in the booth. What's up? I said, excuse me? I said, I'm sorry. Are you high? Well, I just figured it'll help me mellow out so I can, relax and you can, get into who I really am. Okay, well, he was a little bit too friendly and he started nodding over the menu. Yeah, I said, yeah, it's time to go. I'm ready to go. Well, Latanya found out that she's allergic to cilantro. Praise our God, somebody behind me had cilantro and everything started itching, watering, throwing. Said, oh, time to go. I don't have a pen. I can't take no Benadryl. I'm out. You never seen nobody run up out of chili so fast. I said, okay, I get it, God. I gotta go and sit down and wait just a little bit longer.
I'm gonna put some people on game right now. How do you fake an emergency? This is in my old phone. I don't have that phone anymore. I had an alarm for just such an emergency that would go off every 5 minutes, and my ringer was set to the vibrate was set to like a ringer on my phone. So I would set this alarm if I knew the date was not going or I didn't want to be on this date. So once like a certain time hit, the alarm would go off, which would vibrate my phone. I'd be like, oh, let me go take this call. And then you reset the alarm and this alarm just keeps going off. So it's like you're getting blown up. And you're like, I got this emergency. I need to go take care of, here, I'll pay for the dinner. You have a great night. And then you go about your business. And it's not necessarily ghosting. You just like, hey, eventually go down the road. You'd be like, I don't think this is going to work out. You hit them with the, it's not you, it's me. And it is. I just don't like you. I don't like you like that. So it is me. Like,
well, what if like the date was really bad and you paid for it? Should you ask for your money back? Because that's gone through my head a few times. Like, should I be like, hey, can I get a refund? That wasn't really.
You owe me some money.
That means you keep talking to him until you get that money. No, that money, keep this date, all of it. I think we should probably say something about Ashley Butts.
There was a question before that one though, too. We'll go to that one after this one. After your last relationship date, what's one thing that you've learned about yourself that you will take into the next relationship / date?
Everything is not a conversation. Before you bring something, to, your mate, is not necessary. You see something, oh, we need to talk. I got something to say. Because my whole resolve with it now is, what is the outcome that I'm expecting from this? What is going to make us better from me having something to say about it? So, some things you just let it ride. Everything is not meant for a discussion or what could be an argument.
That's real.
He in deep thought.
I'm still thinking about it.
Mine is pretty simple. I mean, I'm not going into any more relationships. I'm good with the one that I'm in forever. So let's put that out there. But no, legit have fun. I've dated people and even been in some past relationships where things look fun to other people, but it really wasn't like fun. And if you're not having fun with the person that you're like planning to be with for the rest of your life or an extended amount of time, don't do it. You're going to waste your time and you're going to waste their time too.
Facts.
But more so you'll waste your time. So that's when it's good to be selfish. Don't waste your time on not having fun.
Sam, I appreciate you, Chance the Rapper, in it tonight, man. Ooh, I love you.
I'm smart.
I love you. One thing that I learned that I take into the relationship is just I learned what I don't like, and because like if you're not learning about yourself constantly, you're never going to really achieve the best person that you are to be. So you have to constantly be learning about yourself, and every experience lends itself to an opportunity to learn about yourself. So learn what you like, what you don't like, and make sure you're getting the most of what you like in your next relationship. We had another question. This is a good question. Should men pay for dates?
Not all of them.
The way my bank account is set up, I got a checkings and a savings. You got to be
I
working.
heard someone say that. I mean, I totally believe men should pay for the date, but I heard someone say that the person that asks should pay for the date. I don't agree with that, but I just heard that.
I think it depends on the dynamics. So, it's early on. I've heard some people, and it worked out for them, where they talk to a person and they decided, hey, we're going to go on a date, and both people pay for themselves. And some people's like, oh, that wasn't a date. Some people said it was a date. Look, that's up to them to figure it out because they're the ones that are dating. But I pay for my wife the majority of the times, which I'm fine with. But she likes to spoil me too and take me on dates, which I utterly love. And I'm like, yes, please take me on a date. Spend a lot of money. I'm picking the most expensive restaurants that I can think of. You feel me? I'm not cheap. I am not cheap. So,
I mean, I figured like this. It's all about the understanding. I think that that's the first step in the communication, like opportunities, is who's going to pay for what in a date. If y'all can't talk about money, y'all shouldn't be talking in the first place. Like that's how I feel about it. Money is usually the downfall of a lot of relationships. So like even if I like pay for the food, and sometimes like if she makes the offer to pay for something else, that I appreciate the offer. Now like if I have it, I'll pay for it. If I like, look, I might need a little help. I'm gonna be honest with you, like, hey, we supposed to go on this date. I may not have the funds to take you out where we initially agreed, and then they'd be like, oh, well, I'll take care of this. Cool, let's do it. But that's that open and honest conversation is like, I feel like that's a great first step in a relationship is being able to talk about like your funds. Like a lot of people would go, sell some plasma or, go get a title loan to take somebody on a date instead of just saying like, I don't have it. Like, bro, just be open and honest with the person. And if she leave you for that, then that ain't the person that was for you.
I think a lot of men just want to know that a woman is willing to offer it and let them say, no, baby, I got it. Just to know that she's willing to do that makes the difference. Then all the time she looking at your wallet like, you got that? I had a friend of mine that took a woman to a restaurant that was well above her level in life. And he says that they brought the steak to the table and says, okay, you could choose your cut of meat. How do you want it? She chose her meat. And then they looked and says, how would you like this prepared? She went, duh, cooked. It's it's levels. I mean, so if she's, picking this fancy restaurant out and she can't even order off the menu, like you said, then it's levels to it. Everybody don't belong everywhere.
No, that's true. And if anybody answers that question like that, they need to be paying for the date. Like for real, you need
to go home. Get them an Uber to McDonald's.
Sir, please take that steak back. We are not going to be eating here tonight. She deserves a happy meal. Jaquay's question: what do you think about living with the person you're dating before marriage?
Good question.
That's a very good question.
I don't agree with it. I mean, that's between you and God, though. But it does open you up for things, especially if you're trying to live holy and righteously. It opens up way more doors for temptation by living together. And also, I want to know that I'm committed to this person before I move in with them, because they might do something in that time period that I like really, really hate. And it's like, oh yeah, I got my way out now. But if you're married, you're like, all right, I decided that I'm going to fight through whatever their flaws are. And so,
yeah,
I've done it before. I told you, I told myself, I lived with someone before we got married. And honestly, I feel like it made the relationship more complacent. It was, I got the ring, the proposal, all that good stuff before we moved in together. And it was like, okay, let's go and get this date together. Let's plan. But as soon as we start moving our boxes into the same address with his name on some stuff and mine on another, and we got mail coming in, oh man, babe, we got all these bills now, and let's work on this. We gonna be together so we can, always plan to get married. And it wasn't a priority anymore because we're already living like married people, but we weren't. So, was it still there? Was it gonna happen? Sure. But it wasn't the same sense of urgency because we're in the same house. And like you said, Sam, let's call it. No, we weren't sleeping in separate rooms, or, okay, we in here alone. Yeah, he done put on some smooth grooves. He done cut out every light in the house. Light some candles. Break it and all this. And I'm like, all right, I see tomorrow. You gonna hit that sofa, and I'll be here in the room. God bless you. May the Lord watch between me and thee. A lie. A lie.
So this is a question that I feel this. Okay, I'm still on the fence about this question. Like I get the whole spiritual and Christian part of it. Like, no, you shouldn't. But I feel like living with you don't really know a person until you live with them. And a lot of people can hold up fronts, and until you be able to wake up with that person and see them 24 hours a day, there's some fronts that people just can't uphold. And if they're bad with money, you really find out how bad they are with money when you living with them. You find out how they are with money. You find out how clean they are. Some people don't shower every day. You won't know that until you live with them. There's some people that don't know how to cook. You don't know that until you live with them. There's some people that don't know how to properly, change sheets on the bed. They sleeping on the same sheets that they've been sleeping on since they bought their bed. You won't know that until you live with them. You be like, why your sheets gray? Like, and you wash them and then they white. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know. You don't know. And like, it's like, but it's people can only uphold a front for so long, and like having that access to that person before marriage, I think is very revealing. But that's just me. I can't speak for everybody. I could just only speak for Alfonso Spanky Jones.
Oh, it is.
You know what? I feel like that can be, an excuse as to why you should. And I'm not coming for you when I say that, Spank, but I feel like that can be an excuse.
Bro. Come for me, bro.
You should, shack up like old school with Shay. But you know what? I did it, and I'm gonna be honest. It wasn't the right thing to do, but I did it, and I won't even blame my ex. But what I will say is that it was my decision to do that. I did that definitely out of ignorance. But looking back on it, I know what to do now. And one of the things that I didn't do was establish boundaries. And when I say boundaries, you want to have things set up so that when that topic do come up, you can, especially as believers, we can shut that down, because what it's going to lead to is, of course, sin. And let's be honest, if you don't have a plan together, you're going to fall for anything. And at one point, that was my life. I was just falling for anything because I didn't have a plan together. I didn't even care about a purpose. I just wanted to do things my way. But fast forward to present day, I'm learning to establish boundaries for myself, because from those boundaries, it will make me and not break me. That's what I'm trying to say.
I feel you. But I can also like say from my experiences, like when I was in college, I had female roommates. So like I was able to not only live with females, but also establish boundaries of like how to handle situations. So like these are females that I wasn't sexually interested in. We just were really good friends, and we knew financially what we needed to do. And honestly, I just get along better with females than some males. Some guys are just too competitive for me to live with. Like that was one thing I always ran into living in college was competitiveness. But
this is good conversation.
I'll go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just saying this is really good conversation.
Yeah, no, I like, and that's what I'm saying. Every female roommate that I had, I never slept with, and it's like you kind of know, like once you set those boundaries, and I think like being able to set those type of boundaries early in a relationship is only going to make it stronger in a profile because now you're setting standards, you know,
Exactly.
how somebody should treat you, how to be around you, how to proceed in your life, and once y'all comfortable with y'all standards and boundaries, y'all can only grow from there. That's just how I feel, but that's just me.
No, I
If you being, real with it, your expectation was set from the beginning. That's your roommate. This wasn't someone that you were seeking romantically, trying to build on. So, if you already have something in your mind, you set it up. Hey, that's my roommate. That's what it is. But if you are dating someone prior to moving in together, then you've already blurred the lines a little bit, and it's not just okay, it's a 2-bedroom apartment, you take yours, I'm gonna take mine. You live your life, I'm gonna live mine. And I think I just saw my bishop chime in, and he said something that he's been teaching us for a while, that 9 times out of 10, if you have sex before marriage, it's going to end in divorce.
Dang.
It's a real statement.
That's real. That's real.
Did anybody read Derry's long comment? I didn't get it.
Him and his wife hung out together at each other's home. They didn't stay together. They had to be able to control themselves. It's gonna be tough, but yeah, you got to do it to stay holy.
Yeah,
I think that's what he said. And it kept it holy.
That's a sign of maturity when you're able to separate, in the midst of that building of tension or that burning of passion. Like, look, I can no longer hold my mule. I need to exit the premises as expeditious as possible. Like, I feel like that's gonna help your relationship grow because now, like you said, that standard and those boundaries are set.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is one of them shows where we keep it 100. We ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. We ain't gonna put up no fronts. We are not your regular church people on this show. Just letting y'all know. You know what I'm saying? We live life. We are living life like we do, like humans should do. We all trying to, learn this thing called life. We spiritual beings having a human experience and whatnot, all that good saying stuff.
Yeah, all that church saying stuff. This was dope. I know that everyone in the comments would love to have you all back for a part 2 of this conversation for sure, so we can keep it going.
Right.
And
right.
I'm not going to ask you all publicly, but if you do say yes, this is almost like a legal binding contract. So just put it out there.
All right. So we'll do this last question, then we wrap it up for the night. What if you waited until marriage and you found out your spouse wasn't good?
You teach them. That is your spouse. You are there to learn from each other. You teach them. You got to read a book. You better go to a Christian sex counselor. They have those too, and figure it out, fam.
Yes. I mean, I agree with it. If you have that grace to teach. You don't have that grace to teach. I don't know how to. I don't know.
Alex's response is your quote though.
I got a question. Who are you comparing your spouse to? Because if you comparing your spouse to diamonds and sprinkles that you saw down, at the club, in your in between time, with God, then that's one thing. But if you truly love that person, you gonna show them how to please you. And if you love them enough, you're patient while you're showing them, because we don't have to get graphic. Hey, don't kiss me like this, but I like it like that. Don't hug me like that. Did you just try to choke me?
So what if a person don't know how to kiss? And that's one of your things. How do you teach somebody how to kiss?
Like you teach them anything else.
Yeah.
Practice makes perfect, ladies and gentlemen. When you're married, you should be practicing a lot. So practice makes perfect.
All right. So when somebody practicing and they walk up to you without no more bottom lip because the person they trying to bit their bottom lip off, go ahead. Eventually you learn how to drink without the bottom lip.
That's it.
Hey, take it easy. Let's slow it down. Slow it down. But
I'm surprised you brought that up because that's a lot of. I always say a lot of people give that excuse. And it's like, I mean, you already married to this person. You just gonna go ahead and just throw them to the wayside because they're not good at bed. Like, was that your only intention for getting married?
Which goes back to our original statement at first. You know, that's why a lot of people get married. Like, that's why I feel like that statement is better to burn. You know, it's better to wear than to burn. Can be very misleading because you got a lot of people like in church that are virgins, and you got a lot of people that are sexually frustrated in church, and they get into situationships and marriages for the wrong reasons. And now, you know, you got somebody that don't know what they're doing, and now you don't have the patience or the grace to deal with that person. You know,
That's real.
It's like, but with that being said, we're gonna wrap things up. Thank you, Latanya Berry and Clifford E. What is it? Clifford No Lies. What is it?
Cliff Never Lies.
Cliff Never Lies.
Let me say one more thing. If you are a virgin and if you are tuning in, it's perfectly okay to be a virgin.
Legit. Okay?
You don't have to be like everyone else. It's okay to be authentically you and to wait till marriage. Trust me. If you wait till marriage, you won't have to go through half of the stuff that we've just discussed. Okay, you can have peace of mind. Okay. All right, I'm done.
No, I totally agree. I personally envy virgins because you can't miss what you never had.
You feel me?
So thank you guys again for being on the show. If you can hang around for a little bit of backstage, we'll be back. We'll just kind of talk with you after the show. Okay. Thank you. All right, man. This was a great show.
This was dope.
Avoiding entanglements 2020. That's hashtag goals for real. Let's did we ever get that flyer?
Nope, no flyer. But I do have the information. December the 12th, the Liberty Temple Chicago Youth Ministry is hosting a Christmas party on Zoom. I can't remember the time. I believe it's 5 p.m. To 6 p.m. on Zoom. They have cash prizes and all that good stuff. I see some of y'all Liberty Temple Youth leaders on here. Can y'all give us this information about y'all event, please, in the comments? I see y'all commented, but y'all ain't helping us. But that'll be be on the lookout for that on the Liberty Temple Chicago Facebook page, as well as the Liberty Temple Chicago Youth Facebook page as well. They have all of that information for you all. So make sure you got your kids on there. Once again, they can win some cash prizes by being on there. Oh yeah,
you got your
we got it right.
You got your confirmation. Good job, sir.
Cool. We good. We good.
So go please support that event. Also follow us on Instagram at LIN Live Official. We be doing some cool things on there. We still we'll carry on the conversation with you. If you need to know any more information about the show or anything like that, slide in our DMs. You know what I'm saying? We answer them.
Yeah. Somebody asked about how do they slide into DMs the holy way. I will be selling my book next week, how to slide in DMs the Christian way, for $7.98 on Amazon.com. So be on the lookout for that.
The line that God told me to slide in your DMs does not work anymore. That has been stricken off the record. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Liberty International Network, the YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell to always on, and then also give us a thumbs up on this video and on the show.
Yeah,
that helps us with the algorithm so we can get some of this YouTube shmoney. You dig?
Let's all get paid in the name of the Lord. Buy merch.
And then buy merch, because that also helps us, continue to grow this show, get us better graphics, hire some staff to actually research things, and so we won't be out here bogus, giving y'all how to have sex before marriage tips like that. He said I slide in my wife's DM and look at her 6 years later.
See, there you go. I'm not the only one who slid in the DM and it worked out.
It's the sign of the time. Sometimes you can't just send a telegram no more. You got to slide in those DMs. So
Legit.
with that being said, follow us on Instagram, subscribe to the YouTube channel, check out the Liberty Chicago Youth event. We love you. And
December 5th, check us out.
Yeah.
LIN Live Game Night. Don't forget, it's on a Saturday.
It's gonna be on this YouTube channel live. We're gonna be on YouTube live, baby. We
Yes.
gonna be live, baby. So you don't want to miss it. We're gonna be hanging out, having some playing some games. You might actually get to witness me spank Sam in some spades and or Uno.
Mhm.
My trash talking is impeccable. You don't
I'm
want
not good at trash talk. I'm kind of like if you ever see Phillip Rivers, who's a football player, he's really good at trash talking without curse words. I'm Phillip Rivers. I'm like, oh, malarkey, shucks, sheesh. That's me. So
I trash talk like beast mode. I'm gonna get fine. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for joining us again. We love you, and we'll catch you next Sunday.
It's LIN